Awesome. So today our topic is actually going to be something about being an author, right? So what are the skills required to be an author? What are the techniques required for you to be an author? I'm sure some of you might have this in your checklist that you might want to write a book or you wish to write a book. And maybe you're just thinking whether this is this really my cup of tea? Should I do it? Maybe all those thought processes are going on. But I guess this session will give you in-depth insights into explore and have a reality check whether this is for you or not. Okay, so just getting a quick inputs from all of you. How many of you are looking at if you have authorship in your mind, just put in the chat box author, right? That is, if you plan to write a book sometime in the future, just give me in the chat author. Okay, and we'll see what it means to be an author and what are the advantages and how to go about that. Few tips, tools and techniques I'd love to share. Awesome, because as we focus on entrepreneurial growth, I think there's so much for us to focus. The main core is KPI gamification. A lot of areas need to be focused, such as financial disciplines, accounting procedures, compliances, international markets, branding, authorship, digital selling, lots of things, and even the unknown things. We wanted to see how we can tap them as well, right? The world is now talking about uh, you know NFCs, metaverse, and so much and so on. But I think one by one, we'll keep unblocking everything, and we'll reveal the things, and we'll make them simple and easy for you to understand and practice and implement as well. Okay, so good. We've got a couple of people who are showing interest in author. Okay, a lot of others are putting in the chat box. Okay, author, great. So without wasting much time, without much ado, let me just dive in right to the topic about how you can be an author as well. Okay, here you go. I got a simple, neat and crisp presentation made exclusively for this particular meeting. Okay, just a second. Let me just enable the chat as well so that I can know what you're typing in. All right, author skills and techniques. From being able to produce a book and a lot of other books in the pipeline, I've kind of summed up this quick session for you to explore what is in it for you if you become an author, and what are the skills needed, and what are the techniques some people use when it comes to authorship as well, right? So here you go. Why we need to author a book? Just let me know in the chat box. Why do you think we need to author a book? I mean, if you write a book, are there any advantages, or why should you even write a book in the first place? Whatever thoughts you have, just put that in the chat box. I'd love to read your comments as well. So why do you think one person needs to write a book? Is there some sort of an agenda, or does it do any good to us? Does it do good to others? Yes, Mr. Satish says we can help the public. Absolutely. One message inside one person's mind itself, doesn't make sense, right? So when it spreads, it goes on and on and on, right? So one of the strongest medium, I must say, that a book can travel to places where no other media can even penetrate to. One is obviously personal branding. Okay, so if you're looking at some sort of a personal branding for your business, you need to do branding. For you, when you do, that's called personal branding. And if you think personal branding will add some value to you, definitely authorship will elevate things. See, it's like this. People follow Steve Jobs, they buy Apple products. People follow Jeff Bezos, they buy from Amazon. People know who Elon Musk is. Even some people didn't know earlier. After him buying Twitter, a lot of people know him, right? So people know the leader. Because they know the leader, they build some kind of a connectivity with the leader, as in, they resonate with them, the thought process, the principles, something becomes synced up. Okay, there's some sort of a resonation. Something is resonating with them. They kind of the acceptance of their brand is much more greater as well, right? And that's why once you achieve that kind of a brand visibility, any product the brand is able to launch, chances of that product being hit is so much higher. Similarly, like, I know XYZ person. I'm just think about your own name. Okay. So I know XYZ person, and I know that this person is running this particular company because I believe this person and I share great values and we believe in some of our principalities are same. I think I'll be comfortable working with him, whether I want to take a bank loan or maybe I want to outsource production to him or I want to appoint him as some sort of a consultant for me, or maybe I want to, tie up with him as a vendor, or I want to procure raw materials from him, because I think this person, there's some kind of a face value, right? So just put in the chat box face value. The most professional form of face value, probably you can call it as personal branding. And if your face value increases, obviously the chances of you getting better deals, better business orders, obviously will also get boosted. And when you become an author, definitely there's an uplift, there's a very good face value for you, and because of that, a lot of businesses will flow. Don't worry. The thing is, here's the catch: being an author will give you good face value. At the same time, people will understand that they may not be able to directly work with you, but they will be okay to work with your team knowing that you're behind them. You got it? So that's the advantages of author, right? So maybe just give me some of your favorite authors' names. Okay, maybe any books that you've read recently. Just give me one or two authors' names. Let's see what books you all read. Okay, some famous Indian authors are there. Like I think we have Mr. Chetan Bhagat and Rashmi Bansal. Few other authors, Simon Sinek. Yes, Dr. Abdul Kalam, obviously. Wings of Fire. Shiv Khera. Okay, so here's what I'm saying. So when you read Shiv Khera's book, and when there is an opportunity for you to work with them, you understand that I understand I cannot work with Shiv Khera directly, but I can work with his team. But I will be happy if he will be supervising what work his team is doing for me, right? So that thing can be achieved when you're author. So you're manufacturing maybe water heaters or water purifiers or maybe any machining or components. So people will be happy. It's like when Jeff Bezos writes a book, and if you read that book, you're not expecting to talk to Jeff Bezos directly, but you're happy to use Jeff Bezos's products, which is Amazon, AWS, and all that stuff. But knowing that somewhere down the line, he is supervising everything. So that feel can be achieved. Rhonda Byrne, okay, yeah. A good advantage in terms of personal branding, it can also act as a lead magnet. Lead magnet is when somebody reads your book, the brand awareness is increased. You remember AIDA, right? AIDA, awareness, interest, desire, action. So more people discover about you, more people discover about your business. And below the book, you'll give your links to your LinkedIn, Instagram, whatnot, right? So people kind of, maybe your podcast and all that stuff. So YouTube channel, people kind of build a connection with you as well. So it also can act as a lead magnet. And you can prove that you're a good authority in that particular domain, in whatever subject. See, being a subject matter expert is not something that's so easy, but when you author a book, it kind of, proves that, not everybody can actually author a book. So it kind of proves that you have so much of dominion over that particular subject. So domain authority can be strongly established when you sort of author a book. And last but not the least is share and leave a legacy. Whatever you know, you share it to the world and you leave a legacy. Just give me a rough number of years in the chat box. Maybe your dad used a book, or your grandfather used a book, grandfather's father used a book. If you have like 30-year, 40-year, 50-year, 100-year-old book or if you've seen that book, just give me a rough number in the chat. Like, what is the maximum, what is the oldest book that you've come across, or maybe you have even in your home? What is the oldest book that you have in your home? Like how many, what would be the age of that particular book? Okay, 40, okay. 40, 45. Good. 87. Wow. Okay. Nice. Cool. So that probably either from the time of writing the book to 46 years or 45 years. Sometimes that would be from the time the book got printed to number of years. Okay. So I've used, in my home, most of the people, they all have libraries. Okay. So my dad even has his dad's collections and things like that. So there are easily, I got few books which is like 100 years old and all that stuff. So what I'm trying to tell you is lifespan for a book is so strong, okay, that even the next generation can read it. So you're leaving a legacy, and on your name, it's like kept there. Your name is just there. Like, what have you left in this world? You left a good book, okay, which can be carried on for years and years and years, and number of reprints it will go through. Yes. Letters from a father to his daughter. Okay, awesome. Good. The book only advantage. Some of the advantages that only book can do and no other product can do is you can use that as a gifting. Okay. Not you alone, your clients can use your books as a gift. Like every year you spend at least 1 lakh plus for gifting purposes, right? So you give them different things, maybe gadgets, electronics, power banks, earpods, and different things, and so on and so forth. But books can be a good one when it comes to gifting. Your customers can also buy it in bulk and gift it to others. / you can gift the books for your customers as well, and even to penetrate into new markets. Also, maybe you're putting up a stall, you're participating in an expo, you want to give some kind of a return gift to people, can use that book as a return gift. Okay. And it can travel. Book can travel. Okay. Books does not need any visa. It can travel on flight. Most of the time you find people in business class, you always find them reading, right? So your books, you never know where your book would travel. Okay. So if the book's a big hit, it'll travel to places. And it's got the longest shelf life, probably the last thing that will get destroyed from the shelf. As long as that particular shelf is there in the house, I think the book is going to be there. Okay. So longest shelf life only the book has got, and it reaches the next readers, it reaches the next reader. It's not like one person consumes it. Okay. It's not like buying a food and eating it and then it goes on. Okay. And it's like it gets passed on to the next reader. Hey, I got this, you got this. Dad gifting to son, son giving to his friend, friend giving to his dad, dad giving to his friend. It goes on and on and on. Okay. Usually the author gets immediate recognition and the public's attraction. Yes, absolutely. But sometimes they cannot happen so fast, but definitely there's a good credibility added to your profile as well. Okay. Very easily. And it reaches the next reader as well. And some of the writing styles, I'd love to sum it up for you. A lot of different writing styles, but I'd love to sum up a few writing styles. Okay. There are at least 7 types of writing styles, but 4 writing styles are the major writing styles. Okay. So persuasive writing, narrative writing, descriptive writing, and expository writing. Okay. So first we will talk about persuasive writing. Okay. Maybe right now you're just thinking, okay, I know I want to write a book, but I don't know what topic I should write a book. Just think of what topic you're very strong in, but think of the customer pain point. That's the best topic to write the book. Don't come out of your business and say, okay, I will write motivation. I will do all that is good. I'm not saying wrong. But if you write a book that's got some sort of a purpose for your customer, your prospect, and the reader of the book, all of them are the same. Just think like that. Okay. Anybody who can be a potential customer needs to feel a wow to read the book, to even buy the book. And when they buy the book, even if they don't become your customer, they should feel so thankful. They should feel a lot of gratitude towards you, because you've sort of solved a huge pain point for their company as well. So try to list down all the pain points of your customers. It's like video, guys. If you started a YouTube channel regarding your business, and if your YouTube channel is at least 2 to 3 years old, I'm telling you, you got all the content over there itself. Just take it and add some, just spice it up, and come up with a very good title. I'll just show you how to do a good title for your book also in some time. But I'm just telling you, I don't know what to write is not at all a problem for entrepreneur. It's like, I don't know what business to start. Okay, so tell me 10 types of products for which you want sales for tomorrow. You can list it like this, right? Exactly. So first write down at least 10 products you're selling, and then try to write 10 different prospects who are buying that product or service. Then try to list down 10 pain point of each of the prospect. So you'll have 100 pain points. From 100 pain points, you just have to take one or two or three, or maybe even try to cover all of them and start writing a book. So that's the purpose of the book. And it can be made universal. People from any country can read your book. So what are the writing styles? Okay, I kind of understand how to write a book and what topic to write a book. Like how to write, I really don't know. I've not been a great writer. How to write it? Couple of things. One is there is bot which can generate content. Okay, I'm yet to try a bot, but I don't recommend using that for writing a book. Okay, so that's not right. And also you will get stuck with plagiarism and all that. But there are some bots which can even hide or safeguard you from plagiarism as well. Okay, it'll copy the content, but it'll change some words and show as if it is not copied. But domain authority cannot be achieved. You can say, I also wrote a book, but you cannot say, I am the creator of this book. So that confident level you'll never able to achieve. It's like wearing a golden jewelry, but it's not golden. It's gold plated only, or it's only covering. Okay, but you'll not be able to radiate that kind of a confidence, right? Obviously. Yeah. And there's also something called ghostwriting. Okay, ghostwriting is kind of picking up, but I'm not really in for ghostwriting. Ghostwriting means somebody else will write the book on your behalf, but you'll just tell them the idea. This is what it is. Major ideas alone you have to tell, but they'll write it for you and you'll pay them. But I'm only talking about really you writing the book. But one funny thing is, when we say write a book, you literally don't write a book these days. You kind of type a book. Okay, so you just have to. It's okay if you're not a good typer. Just begin typing. Okay, type the book. You can write the book. Again, you have to get somebody else to type it, then editing, a lot of process. Just if you make it soft copy, releasing of the book is much more easy and faster and efficient as well. Okay, so here are the 4 types of writing. One is persuasive writing. Persuasive writing is you kind of persuading the reader. Okay, or in other words, inspire them, encourage them, maybe convince them, sell an idea. Okay, you're basically selling an idea to them, or encouraging them to choose something. Okay, maybe you can use a keyword called encourage. Can you all please put in the chat box, encourage an idea? Let's say encourage an idea. So that's persuasive. For example, if I'm writing a book about do charity, okay, the book itself is going to encourage you about do charity. I have to win you to do charity. I have to win your belief system, or I have to encourage you, I have to persuade you to do charity. Okay, it's like a mission. Okay, you're pushing people towards something, or you're maybe inviting people towards something, you're encouraging people towards something. So basically encouraging an idea. So major 4 types of writing books. One is encourage an idea. Like I'm going to be writing a book on KPI gamification. So the idea is every reader should go back and implement KPI in their company. As simple as that, right? So that's encouraging the idea. Number two, second style is narrative writing. Okay, what is narrative writing? Narrative writing is mostly like a story kind of a writing. Okay, just put in the chat box story. So one is encourage the idea. You're encouraging the idea. Second one is you're telling story, storytelling method. Like even some of the complex books, okay, were able to, those books were presented in forms of stories, narratives. Like my style is especially not very much narrative, but I'm still exploring that. Who Moved My Cheese? There's a book called Who Moved My Cheese. So it's basically like a narration, only story will go. Okay. Two friends will be there. They will go in search of cheese, right? So in one place regularly, they will get cheese. Suddenly from that place, they know the cheese is beginning to decrease. So they think somebody is moving the cheese to another place. Basically, it's like a cheese story. So cheese is being moved. So one guy will, what he will start doing is he'll start waiting. Okay, one day they will come back and store the cheese here. So daily he'll go to that room and wait there for the new cheese to be loaded, but the cheese will never come back. The other guy will go somewhere, he'll get lost. Then finally he'll go discover. He'll find one new place where there's more cheese available. But there is a name for these two people in the book. Actually, I'm not able to recollect their name, but this is like a story. And finally the book ends with a statement that, like that in your life, don't stay in comfort zone. Sometimes you feel like somebody has moved your cheese, but you can do two things. You can sit there, wait there for somebody to refill the cheese, or you can go after searching new, hidden, undiscovered cheese in your life. What do you want to do? So only the last part of the book is conclusion. The whole book goes on story. So it's narrative style. Okay, so that's narrative writing. You can rich dad, poor dad. It's a narrative style. It's about rich dad, how the rich dad is investing so much, how the poor dad is not investing, spending all that stuff, right? So it's this through the story. Finally, it kind of gets connected. Maybe you're selling a product. So one person follows 5 years and protocols. Another person doesn't follow 5 years. You can, in the story, you can write how this person's company is going well, this person's company is going well. Initially, the system looks like not working well, but then its system eventually wins. But the no system company initially looks everything good, but later on becomes so much of a problem, right? This is narrative style. The third style is descriptive style. Descriptive style, I would love to give you the keyword picture, okay? Because I'm giving you these keywords because I want these keywords to stay in your mind and it needs to act, okay? So picture, you're trying to get into details and instilling the sensory emotions in the reader's mind, okay? So I'd love to say picture. Just put in the chat box picture. Just put in the chat box picture. The reader is imagining too much of details. Okay. There was James, there was Vineet. Okay, I'm just giving some rough example. Okay, let's say there's James, there's Vineet. So this is story only, but when I go too deeper into the story, I give you all the pictorial details, like how my home used to be, how this person's home is, how their dad is, why he, like James's dad is used to be like this person's dad used to be like that. Like so much of detailing. You know why the detailing is needed? Where it can become an epic uh, picture in their mind. Like some people are visually, they're visualizers. So when people visualize the story, they buy into it so much. So descriptive, sometimes so much of details are given. So much of details are given. So that's what it's called descriptive. Okay, detailing, detailed things. Okay, it's like you take a picture, how that place will be. That's called describing. There is Bob, there is Ron. Okay, so that's story. But complete picture, like how Bob looks, how Ron behaves, what Bob is wearing, what he ate in the morning, what he is feeling right now. So much of detailing, that's called descriptive writing. Sometimes people like this descriptive writing because that's why some people don't keep the book, because they get so inside, they're not able to keep. They'll just finish that book in one shot. It'll kind of attract, hook people, right? So, and the fourth major type of writing is expository writing. Expository writing is, maybe you can just put in the chat box, specs or insights. Specs means specifications. Text, techniques, specs, and insights. Deep, or even you can just put in the chat box, deep. Okay, so these are the keywords. When you're getting so much into data, okay, when you're getting so much into data, deep analytics, you're exposing some new information. The reader is getting a wow feel in their brain. Wow, I didn't know that. Really? That's exposing information to them. Expository writing. Okay. Now you may be thinking, which is the best form of writing? You can have your own form of writing, but my suggestion is, among these four, keep any one or two as dominant style, but try to use all of that. All four together, it works very well. Okay. There are other types of writing, which is comparative writing. You're trying to compare two concepts or two formulas or two belief systems, and you're writing about that. Reflective writing, like your examples, how your experience of something, that's like reflective writing. And then there's something called personal writing, where you're sharing your personal examples from that. Okay. So here's a small example for you. I've got a writing example for you. When you start a chapter with a story, it's called narrative writing. Just a second, let me enable the chat again. Yeah. So when you start the chapter with a story, that's called narrative writing. When you add emotional effect, that's called descriptive, because it's like picture, right? Detailed stuff. Okay, so emotional effect is there. And you make an appeal, when you suggest an idea, that's called persuasive writing. And when you share facts for the idea, when you share supporting information for the idea, see, I want to persuade you, maybe to take life insurance. So I have to write a book about why insurance is needed, all that thing I'll write. So let's say I need to start with a story. So then I have to start a story of two people who lived on earth, and one person had insurance, one person did not have insurance. Then I have to add emotional effect. Like I have to add about their family, lives, expenses, loans, EMI, how difficult their life was. Then I have to make an appeal and suggest an idea. Appeal is 20 times of your annual income should be your life insurance value, which is term plan value. So that's the idea that I'm appealing. I have to pursue it. I have to constantly give you that idea. And I have to support with, I think, add supportive information, right? It's like supporting documents, basically supportive information, such as share facts. Like in the last 1 year alone, how many deaths have been there in the country and how many of them had insurance. So think of how many families have lost single earning member in their family. When I add, it's not threatening or anything, it's basically adding facts. Or maybe I can even give positive facts. Like how many families in India got benefited? How many lakhs and crores of rupees were given out in United States alone in the last year by having proper term plan or insurance done for them. So, and again, I can go back to narrative, descriptive, persuasive, and expository. I can keep juggling with these things, but I just want to tell you, this is, see, you all know this, but it's like we know how to drive a car, but we did not know this thing name is accelerator, this thing name is clutch, and this thing name is accelerator. I mean, this thing's name is brake. So accelerator, clutch, and brake, we didn't know, but now I'm just introducing all these elements to you so that you can drive with more confidence as well. As simple as that. So by nature, we're all good writers only. But there's one powerful thing when it comes to writing, that nothing can match up. If you turn on the camera and talk, you may feel, you may stumble, you may fumble, you may feel, you may get that stage fear. And when you talk on stage, not on camera, maybe just to people, you may still have that fear. But when you write, it's like no one's watching, and it's okay even if you screw up, mumble, fumble, you can delete, scratch, and write it again and again and again and again. So the thought process is so strong. When you're speaking, there are parallel three parallel actions going on in your body. When you're writing, only two parallel actions going on in your body. When I'm talking, there are three parallel things. One is I am thinking. Two is I'm translating my mind language into the speaking language. So thinking, translating, speaking, the three thought process is happening. And along with this three, there are a few other thought process going on. That is, how do I look? Why this person is looking at me? Is he understanding? Is she understanding? I should not use negative words. People should not think bad about me. All these subconscious simultaneous thoughts. But when I'm writing, only two things. I'm thinking, I'm typing. I'm thinking and typing. Thinking, typing, simple, dot. It's so easier than speaking in front of a crowd or speaking in front of a camera. And what are the skills needed for writing? Okay, some writing skills. Communication. You got to be the master of communication. You should be able to duplicate an idea or image, because when I'm communicating live, I can use my body language. Hey, yeah, that, this. So I can use my hands, body language, facial expression, so much. But when you're writing, it's not in your hands. Okay, you just have to use body language, and you have to use your tone. Your tone should be reflected in words itself, but that's not a big deal. Okay, you can do it. The more you practice, you'll be able to achieve that. So you need to be able to be a master of communication and connect with their world. That's the simplest thing. Connect with their world. The reader should think that, okay, he is able to understand my problem. She got it. She got the point. She got my attention. So you have to just win that connect with their world. And most important thing is commitment and consistency. Though both are two different things, it's very rare to find people with these two combinations. Just put in the chat box CC. Put in the chat box CC. CC stands for commitment and consistency. You should be committed to write a book. You should be committed to provide a solution, and you should do it consistently. 5 days you write the book, and then suddenly you take a break, and then again you come back to write a book. So you lost that flow. It's like watching a series. Even to watch a Netflix series, if you take a break, you don't feel like doing it. So you should not break the pattern. Consistency. Learn. You should be a good learner, and you should know how to research well. You should be able to relearn. Sometimes you should also be able to unlearn some old concepts. If you think that the market has changed, unlearn those concepts. Don't present that concepts again. Just come back and present some new data. And you should basically be good in typing. It's okay if your speed is not good, but just type it. Okay. And you should also be good in editing. Okay. There's a good tool that I use for editing. You should be able to play with words as well. Okay. That's very important. I'll also tell you what tools you can use as well. Okay. You should know a little bit of a basic editing and play with words, because sometimes I find in some books, simple concept on 5 lines, you can finish the whole thing, but they're writing this for 15 pages. How is that possible? In some places, 2 lines, you should be able to present in 10 lines. In some places, 10 lines, you should be able to present in 2 lines. Okay, so you should be the master. Yeah, that's why most of them, yeah, true, they isolate themselves. In fact, this book, I had to literally isolate. I was stuck up in my office. I locked myself in my office. I used to just come back home just for speaking and all that, sharing and all that. Then I go back, take the food and go, finish there. Morning to evening is like daily job kind of a thing for me. So only like that I was able to complete this book. And it requires that kind of an involvement, to get something done. So you should be able to play with words. When required, make it detailed. When required, make crisp. And one thing that I was so good for me when I was writing this book is, like, I learned that I want to finish one chapter in one page. Because I want there are a lot of first time readers who feel, oh, reading a book so big deal. So I want this book to be so easy for them to read and follow and implement. So I thought I will keep one chapter to one page. Maximum I'll keep one chapter to 2 pages. So I wrote in that format, and I realized I became good in terms of so much I want to tell. I can now tell it in 10 lines and 15 lines. So I realized that I myself was getting improved in my communication while I was writing. So these are the skills and some of the techniques. Okay, I'm going to give it to you. If you plan to write a book, here are the techniques. One is start with the outcome. You wrote a book. Let's say your book is released. You don't know the title, okay. Don't know what you're writing, also fine. Okay. You wrote a book and somebody is reading your book. They finished reading your book. What effect do you want to have in their life, or how their life should be different after reading your book? Maybe the way they do purchase will be different. The way they choose vendor will be different. The way they look at design will be different. Quality will be different. Business will be different, right? XYZ job will be different. Start with that outcome. Because if you don't begin with the end in mind, it's very difficult. You'll end up vomiting. As in, just end up writing all that you know. Sometimes it's not needed to share everything that you know, because it's needed for you to share everything that will be helpful for others to achieve a particular outcome. But you should know what that outcome is first. So if I want them to achieve this outcome, then I can add whatever content is needed for that outcome. So what's the outcome? What's the purpose? Then think about the reader's life. Think about their problem every day. Okay, their company, manufacturing, setup, purchase, expansion problem, ISO problem, 5S problem, maybe international market problem, export problem, import problem, GST problem, finance problem, insurance problem, savings problem, financial planning problem, marketing problem, sales problem, whatever problem that they go through. Think about all their problems. Think about their life. Then come up with a powerful titling. Set your title first. Only then the title should, don't write the book and keep the title. Keep the title, then write the book. The title should, it's like half a day, one day's job. Okay, just sit and create the title. The title should be very fascinating. But what I'm telling you, this is not the exact way to build the title, but you can use this as one of the, this is actually a blog generator. Okay, headlines share through. This is actually supposed to be for the blog, but blog title analyzer only, but you can test it for your book also. Right? So tell me one book topic that you want to write. Maybe one of the Q&A times you prepare some topics and tell us, prepare 4 to 5 topics and tell us. We will also try to suggest you what's a good topic as well. Life cycle, yeah, you have to give a detailed book topic. Make the topic for the book that you want to write. This book took some time for me. I'm not able to remember exactly. It close to a month. Beyond ISO, yes, yeah, but topic needs to be something stronger. Yeah, beyond ISO is a decent topic. Yeah, but sometimes this title generator, you cannot totally link with this. But you can use a tagline. Tagline, you can take it from here. Okay, so Beyond ISO is a good title, but the title maker shows wrong. But what you can do is you can use a tagline. The tagline, you can test it in the headlines share through. The tagline for this book can be, you can keep it like this: hidden benefits about ISO that no one told you. Yeah, it's a decent score. Anything about 60 is a good score. Formal schooling is outdated. So what's the next option? Yes, how to engage your employees strongly. Unfortunately, human nature is to win. Awesome. Good, good, good. Getting nice title ideas here. Okay. But when it comes to book, just use the headline share through only for a tagline. Okay. So tagline is here: practical tools and for entrepreneurs and CXOs to accelerate fast track growth. That's a tagline. The main title is only one title. Okay. Title can be like irrational also, not a problem. Life cycle. Okay. Life cycle. Okay. You might have to go Google and find out whether there's a book in this topic first. So that's very important. And then you can try to create your own thing as well. So life cycle for what? Product or life or what it is? Ragu proteins. Okay, you don't need money to start business. Yeah. You can even make it small, stylish, funky. The only investment for startup is you. So something like that, or good. So this is called persuasive writing. So basically, the book itself says that don't wait for money, just the idea is enough. Start it. Okay. Reverse. Nice. Reverse. The E can be actually kept like this and say reverse, or maybe you can do it like this. Great. Awesome. So have a clear purpose. Think about the reader's life. Powerful titling, because titling is all about it. And close and professional circle interaction, because some of the writing techniques, when you're writing the book, when you're typing the book, you should interact, you should discuss the book topic with some of your close circle and professional circle. Maybe one or two people in your family circle, or maybe one or two people in your client circle. Tell them that you're writing a book, and this is a title that you're thinking. Don't go and tell to everybody, because a lot of ideas will get leaked out. So just go talk to these people and just get their input. Do you think is it nice, or what do you think? Okay, decide, and then start. Let the idea sink into your mind. Make a commitment and say that by this date I'll finish. You can even make a declaration. You can say, you don't have to say that book topic and all, but you can say, by this date I will be releasing this book. You can put it in the status, or whatever it is. And before starting to write, here are the three things you have to do. First is create the segments, then create chapters, create content. Don't write and then put into organizing. First create boxes, then start writing. Basically, how many segments? Like somebody says empty business. Okay. Infected soil convert into healthy soil. Right. So infected soil convert into healthy soil. Okay. You can, on top, big bold, you can put soil, and you can say infected to healthy. So infected soil to healthy soil. Infected to healthy, big bold can be soil. And then from, you can use a design like mud and plant and tree and all, and capture it. Okay. Right. What are the segments you're going to have? Segment is, I'm not talking about chapter. One chapter will go for 1 page to 5 page, 10 pages, even 15 pages. But 4 or 5 chapters together will be one segment. So what are your basic segments? Think about that. I'm just giving you one rough example. Jagan says infected soil convert into healthy soil. Segments. How agriculture happened in the earlier days. That's one segment. In that, there will be multiple chapter. Okay. That will have 5 chapters. Different types of agriculture across the globe, one segment. How soil is polluted, one segment. How to reverse the soil to original condition, one segment. And final segment is your next steps, or we are on a mission, you are on a mission, your part to save the globe. That's one thing. So in that you will find five chapters. So I got 5 segments, 5 chapters, 25 chapters. Remaining is very simple. You just have to keep dreaming about the chapter and keep traveling somewhere. I mean, keep traveling somewhere as in while taking bath, while traveling, while talking to people. Just think about the topic and slowly some ideas will come. Note and keep, note and keep, note and keep, note and keep. Then you elaborate it, you're ready. So simple it is. Segment, chapter, create content. It's so easy. I'm telling you, today, if you do the segment and chapter name for your book, 60 to 90 days, your book will be released. But the problem is you will not work on the segment and chapter. If anybody works on segments and chapters, they can never stop. First step, work on the segment. 3 segment, 2 segment. Say like in our book, there is some segment, right? So what are the segments in the book? So my segments are mindset, getting the systems in place, emotional intelligence, business leadership, redefining self, technology and business, profitability, HR system, business intelligence, culture, operation system, growth aspect, revenue generator, habitual success, holistic goal setting, new paradigm. Then because only when I had the segments properly, I was able to organize the chapters. Otherwise, my book was going one random flow from profit to HR, from HR to finance is jumping. So that just create the segment, 3, 4, 5 segment is cool. And 5 chapters per segment. You got 25 chapters already. 25 chapters into 4 pages per chapter. You got 100-page book done in next 90 days. Simple deal. Okay. Start creating the content. And while executing, just start typing. Okay, I will say just take notes. Okay, think I use something called Dropbox. Okay, Dropbox, you can go check out what Dropbox is. Dropbox will be like this. Okay, just try to show you my Dropbox. Yeah, so this is my Dropbox. Like all stuff is all on Dropbox. Okay, so when I open my laptop, all these files will be in the laptop. When I come to my desktop, all these files will be in my desktop. And whatever device I'm using, these files will show up. It's saved in the drive, but it's synced to cloud. So you type in one place where your continuity is not disturbed. You take the phone, you're able to type. You take the laptop, you're able to type. You go to a computer, you're able to type. Or maybe simply start working on a Google Sheet. Because even if you're in office, maybe you're traveling, just open Google Drive, start typing in that Google Sheet. Google Drive is simple. Those days Google Drive was not stronger. I was doing Google Drive is simple. It's fair enough. But I used to do Dropbox because for me, I started doing alignment itself from the beginning itself because I want to be able to readily give it to the printer. So after Google Drive, again, bringing it back to Word document and setting header, footer, and finally processing for printing was, I felt, okay, my printer wants it in PDF, so I'll better start writing in Word itself. So that's the reason why I use Dropbox. But Google Drive is decent. Because when you have the Google Drive, what will happen? First, you'll write the segments, then you'll write the chapters. Then suddenly some ideas will come, you'll write those ideas. Surprisingly, guys, you'll come across so many punchlines. So when that punchline hits you, right, go to that segment, go to the chapter, write that punchline and keep. Later, you can connect everything and it will come out as a beautiful output. Make daily progress, organize content and notes. Don't type multiple places. Just try to keep everything together, organize and keep it. Get editing help, get editors to edit you, proofread it. Must do proofreading. Just get editors help or use a tool. Okay, so one tool that I also bought it while doing proofreading, they have the free edition, but I paid and bought it. But now I have not subscribed because it's over. I'm not using. So you can use it. This Grammarly is a good, very nice One, I think I also have Grammarly in the computer, I guess. Grammarly. No, not downloaded to this one. Yeah. I got Grammarly for Safari. Yeah. I need to open it. Okay. Okay. Grammarly is not in this computer. Okay. Right. So I used Grammarly when I first did the proofreading and all. So you can just write, you can type and it'll tell you problems, changes, what editing you have to do, punctuation, full stop, everything it will do it for you. Okay. It's so nice. You can test that tool. Okay. And must before going for printing, you don't push people, patiently find out people who are book freaks in your circle and tell them, hey, I'm writing this book, I want you to please do a privilege of, be the first reader and give me a feedback. uh, I had given my book to a couple of people. One is both are my clients. Okay, so the first client, he's the one who gifted so many books to me. So I told him, boss, I'm writing this book, so kindly read. He said, when after his feedback, I felt very confident. Oh man, this book is a good one, because he's a voracious reader and he reads a lot of books. And said, okay, it's nice flow. And how was he? How did you come across? So nice. But one thing he asked me was, like, you wrote so much, but why are you writing so much secrets in the book? Why people will come to you? But I said, no, it's okay. Only then I empty myself. I get new idea and all that. But again, the point is, have two people who will read it and they will give you some ideas. In fact, I had third person. I had an intern who was working in my company. I got an English literature student as an intern, and I made her also to read the book. And she made a lot of changes. She said, "So can you change this? This would be nice. In this area, the tone is a little different. Can you alter it? Can you adjust it?" So somebody who's the actual beneficiary should read, somebody who's only a English nerd geek should read, and somebody in between neutral also should read. But minimum, don't go beyond two or three, maximum three. Don't go beyond that, otherwise you'll feel confused. One, each of them will give one feedback, you will feel confused. Don't go, two is enough, maximum three. So get two people to take a spiral bind, print out, give it to them, get feedback, write, edit, type, edit, then go to a printer. And last but not the least, some action points. So how do you get ISBN? ISBN is international, uh, the serial number for the book. So you get the ISBN, and if you're in abroad, depending on your country, you have to get it. But I'm telling you guys, and if you're in India, you're one of the most luckiest people. Okay, you don't have to pay for ISBN. I guess in some countries, people pay money to buy that book serial number. Okay, if you think that's a wow info, just put the information. I mean, just put the chat box wow info. Don't just wait with these wow info, but kindly start taking action with these wow info. ISBN is free for Indians. You can also apply for copyright. You can interact with printers, start interacting with printers. You can collaborate with some stores. You can publish or sell on Amazon as well. Right? So that's what I want to tell you. Don't wait, take action. I want to give you a quick demo as well. Yeah. This is the ISBN portal, guys. Okay. This is the ISBN portal for India, Raja Ram Mohan Roy National Agency for ISBN. It's free, easy to apply. Okay. New applicant registration. Apply. Okay. Just go. Applicant type, publisher or author. You're the author. Your individual author, individual publisher other than author, or institutional author. You're an individual author. Select individual author, individual type, self-published by author, nationality, Indian, email ID of the author, name of the author, right? Phone number, mobile number, then self-publish all those details. Then you have to verify it. Then it will ask you for book title, number of pages, everything. Then I think within short span of time, you'll get the ISBN, the title approved and ISBN generated. Simple. Come on, go ahead, start applying for it. Okay. And if you want to do for copyright, copyright.gov.in. Okay, a lot of copyrights can be applied over here, but I'm just going to go to registration/renewal of copyright society form 8 and 9. Okay, sorry, this one, e-filing of copyright application, registration of copyright form 14. Okay, this one you can see here. So 2 steps. One is you get your book's ISBN. After that, you can get your copyright. Copyright can be received after printing or even before printing also. You can send the spiral binding. For my book, I only sent the spiral binding to ministry, I think, and then they gave the seal and all and gave the copyright to me. So registration of copyright. Yeah, and you can see here, fill up the statement of further particulars. This form is applicable for this, the form 14, right? This form 14 is applicable for literary, dramatical, musical, artistic, and software works. Okay, but when you're writing a book, this will be literary. This will be for literary. So it's a literary work. Okay, so I showed you how to do ISBN for free. And this copyright you have to pay, but I think the cost is very, very nominal. It's very, 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 very nominal. Okay, so and then if you want to get some third-party publishers, if you don't want to publish yourself, you want to get a third-party publishers, you can use like this. You can check. These are some of the websites I just was able to find. This, I think these people are operating from China. A lot of books like this, companies like this are there. They will help you to publish online. Like for $1,000 you can publish it, or maybe for $4,600 they will publish your book and they will print 30 copies of your book and give it to you in your hand. Okay, and they also have some high-end advanced plans also, I guess. Yeah, so you can use some companies like this, or there's also Amazon, in which you can use something called Amazon Kindle Direct Publishing. It's called KDP. Okay, for the Tamil TT meeting, I'm going to be going deep and explaining all these KDP details, but you can go and explore. Okay, but the simplest thing is, I will say, go get an ISBN number, then apply for copyright, interact with the printer, tell them, hello sir, printer sir, I want to at least print 1,000 books. What is the cost per book? Print 1,000 books, have a launch function, call all your clients, have a good launch meeting, gift it to them, and let it start. And you can also sell it on Amazon as well. And some of my books, like for in India, I am selling on Amazon. For worldwide, I'm making Amazon itself to print and sell it. You can see my book is here on Amazon US, Amazon UK, Amazon D, Amazon France. Yeah, if I click on US, it'll take me to Amazon US and it'll show me that the book is $14.9. I am not doing anything. Amazon itself is printing this book. Amazon itself is printing this book. Amazon itself is distributed this book worldwide. So you can do this, or you can even print with a local printer and you can also sell it across. So Kindle book, ebook, I'm selling it for $9, and printed book, I'm selling it for $14. It's called Kindle Direct Publishing, KDP. Okay, so hope and believe the information was super useful to everybody. So congratulations to all the future budding authors. May you all become authors and achieve great heights in your business. Wishing you skyrocketing growth. James Vineet signing off.